Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an instructional video on my everyday makeup routine. So the very first thing that you always want to do is start by pinning your hair out of your face. So I always use like a giant clip like this. I normally just do it on the right side just because that's where I hold a lot of my hair. Another thing that you always want to make sure before starting your makeup is that you wash your face using a daily cleanser, moisturizer, and I definitely highly recommend exfoliating about every other day just to ensure that you get some of the dead skin off of your face as well. So the very first thing that I do start with is going to be my primer. So we're just going to take a little bit here on your finger, and then you're just going to kind of moisturize it into your face and then about everywhere that you can get it. And then the next thing that you're going to do is take your concealer, and I just applied this like on some of my pimples or any like red marks or even my bags that I have underneath my eyes. And you don't need to do a lot because this isn't an intense look, so you don't need to go like overboard with it. It's just something to hide some of the imperfections that you think you may have. And again, I'm just using my finger because it's not an intense look, so you don't want to, you know, go deep into it as well. So the next thing that I do is my foundation. Being that it is the summertime, my face can be very dry, so I use a powder foundation because if I use a liquid foundation, the liquid sticks to the dead skin or the dry skin that I may have on my face, and no matter how much you exfoliate, you don't want to overdo it because then it can be very abrasive for your skin. But if you do happen to have dead skin still on your face, it can stick to it and it can make your face look very dry. So I always use a powder foundation in the summertime. So I'm just going to take a small kabuki brush like this and apply it into my face. And I don't know if you can see it, but I do have some dead skin right here. So that's exactly why I do use the powder foundation. So I just like to take some tweezers and just, you know, pick it off so that way it's not sticking out. And then the next thing that I do is take my bronzer here. Bronzer is going to be applied in similar areas that you would apply the foundation, but not all over. Next step that you're going to do is take your blush here. Blush only goes on your cheekbones and into, you want to blend it into the bronzer here. If you put blush anywhere else, it'll just make it look like you are red everywhere else. The next step that I do is my mascara. So I'm going to use a curling lash here to curl my eyelashes before I apply my mascara, just to give it a little bit of definition. And then I just apply the mascara here. Now, when it comes to an everyday makeup routine, I don't use eyeshadow just because of the fact that you don't want it to be too intense. And I feel like sometimes going overboard with some eyeshadows can create a more intensified look. Next thing that I'm going to do my eyebrows. I'm going to use one end of here, which is called a exfoliant, and brush out my eyebrows, and then use a angled brush on the other side to apply the powder. And the powder that I'm using has two colors to it. I always use the light color in the inside of my eyebrow because you don't want it to be, again, too intense. But I use this even if I was to do an intense look. I use this technique with that as well. And then I'll blend it out at the end with the darker color. I'll even create like a little bit more of an arch there at the back end. And then we do the same thing on the other side. There's that. And then the next step that I do is I will set all of the makeup that we've already put on. And then I'm going to apply a little bit of a highlighter just to give my cheekbones some sparkle. And the tip of your nose, a little bit on that, and then I even put a little bit on my eyelids just to make them pop just a little bit, but again, nothing crazy. Next step that I do is apply a lip treatment to moisturize my lips, and again I just use my finger. The reason I use a lip treatment is because it is a little bit more intense than a chapstick, but it is less intense than using like a full-on lipstick. And I kind of just use this to blend in my chin. And then that is it. That is the tutorial on my everyday makeup routine. Thanks for watching, guys.